At noon, a police officer told me I had orchestrated a violent attack at my own office. I was barefoot in my kitchen, still in the sweatshirt I slept in. By night, I was running through a bunker while helicopters swept the trees. And it started at 5:02 a.m. when my quiet neighbor pounded on my door and said, "Do not go to work today." I almost ignored him. He barely talked to anyone on our street, but he looked terrified, like he knew something was coming. "Please," he said, "stay home. Trust me." 3 months earlier, my dad had died from what they called a stroke. Before he died, he kept saying, "It's about our family. You need to know." Then he was gone. After that, I noticed tinted cars near my driveway, blocked calls with silence, and weird emails asking if I'd be in office on Tuesday. So I took the day off. By 11:30, I felt ridiculous. Nothing had happened. Then my phone rang. "Miss Carter? County Police. Are you aware of the critical incident at your workplace?" He said my car entered the garage at 8:02. My badge opened the building. Coworkers said they saw me on the 3rd floor before the attack. I said, "I've been home all morning." He asked, "Can anyone verify that?" "I live alone." "Perfect." Then he said they found personal items with my name near the scene. Units were heading to my house for my safety. Right. That was the moment my stomach turned to ice. Before I could think, someone knocked. Sharp, controlled. Then a voice. "It's me. Open up." It was my neighbor. I kept the chain on. "How did you know police would call?" He looked straight at me. "Because they're not coming to protect you. They're coming to take you." He stepped inside and told me what my dad never got to finish. He hadn't moved next door by chance. My dad asked him to watch me. Dad wasn't just an accountant. He was tied to a federal investigation around a protected biogenetics program. Then he gave me a black envelope with my dad's handwriting. "If they take you, you disappear. Do not surrender." My legs almost gave out. I asked why anyone would frame me this hard. He said, "Because you're useful as the villain. The office attack was staged. I was supposed to be there, dead in the chaos or alive and blamed. Once I became a public threat, they could erase every file my dad died to protect." Then he handed me a red key card. "Your dad's vault. We get there first, or the truth dies with you." Sirens started in the distance. We ran to his SUV as unmarked black cars turned onto my street. 2 men stepped out like they were collecting property, not people. We drove. On the highway, he handed me a tablet. My file was open. Subject 7B, genomic asset, high priority. There were blood markers tagged non-standard human response, notes about unusual immunity, and regenerative potential. He said my dad discovered unauthorized blood sampling in my childhood records, tried to expose it, and was poisoned for it. Every coincidence in my life suddenly looked planned. We reached a hidden bunker under an overgrown hill. Inside, steel corridors led to a vault, stamped with my family crest. I pressed my palm to the scanner. It opened. In the center sat my dad's journal. His message was blunt. I wasn't made in a lab. I was naturally born with traits they had spent decades trying to copy. They wanted control, not a cure. At the far wall sat a terminal with 2 options. Acquisition protocol, revelation protocol. I stared at both buttons while alarms pulsed through the bunker. Then I lifted my hand. Next, I held my breath. After that, I pressed revelation. Then the screen flashed red. Next, encrypted files started uploading worldwide. Once again, the alarm screamed louder. Then my neighbor whispered, "It's done. Names, payments, shell companies, internal memos, casualty lists, everything my dad buried for this exact moment streamed to reporters and watchdog groups. No quiet cleanup. No rewriting me as the monster. That was their real fear, not my blood, the evidence." By the time we hit the exit tunnel, helicopters were chopping the sky and searchlights were cutting the trees. But I wasn't panicking anymore. They wanted me isolated, ashamed, and easy to erase. Instead, I gave the world receipts. And now they knew I would not run quietly. I spent my life thinking I was just another analyst with a neat calendar and decent coffee. Turns out I was the loose end they could never tie off. If you were in my place, which button would you have pressed? Drop your answer in the comments.